I remember when I was a school kid and I used to wait for the bus to go to school, I could see the mountains in the north, the Pentadactylos or the Peshpomak mountains. And at that point, obviously there was tensions and you couldn't go there. And the only thing I knew about these mountains were the stories that my mum had told me, always wondering what it was like on the other side of the island. I imagined that there were also people in the north who would look to the south and wonder what it was like there, like I did when I was a child. When I found out about this project for Astronomy for Peace, it suddenly seemed like such an ideal time to get the two children from both sides of the island to meet each other, to dispel this myth of them and us.
GalileoMobile is a science education project that has a goal to share astronomy with young people around the world. We wanted to use astronomy to bring together the both communities in Cyprus and to use the sky as something that they both share.
Columba is a constellation, and it's the dove constellation, which is a well-known symbol of peace. So we thought it would be nice to have this as the name of our project. The primary goal of the project is to promote meaningful communication between children and adults of the two communities living in Cyprus, and also to promote a feeling of global citizenship, in which we focus on our similarities rather than our differences.
I think this project is extremely important in Cyprus at the specific moment in time, since even though it's on the island have been open since 2003, the separation has been way longer. We have been separated for more than 50 years, and this requires the increase of contact between the two communities if we are to live together on this shared space that is called Cyprus.
So the goal is that the children learn through inquiry and through hands-on activities about astronomy and about the universe, by asking questions and trying to find the answers together.
Okay, so what I want us to do today is to make our own golden record from Cyprus, okay? What we would want to send to an alien civilization that would be representative of all of Cyprus, okay?
This is a very nice activity. It's based on the golden record that's on the Voyager spacecrafts, which were launched in the 70s. Well, it was more symbolic than anything, but the idea was if these spacecrafts were to ever be intercepted by an alien civilization, for us to give kind of a token of Earth.
So, for example, images of people, images of natural landscapes, animals, sounds of Cyprus, which could include nature, sounds of animals, music, different musics from the island, our languages, different languages that are spoken on our island, food of Cyprus. And I want to know if you have any other ideas of topics that you think would be important.
And this is really great because it gives the children an opportunity to discuss about different things they want to send that is representative of all of Cyprus, that are actually similar between the different communities in Cyprus, but also the differences, which are very interesting. And so, so the idea is to build a golden record from Cyprus as a representation of our country, of our common land.
What's your favorite food?
Sarma.
Pupepia. Bravo.
What music do you like of Cyprus? We will find sounds, but also music.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this.
Galaxies do not live by themselves in isolation always. Galaxies also can interact with each other. And then when they crash, what happens?
One of the activities also was about galaxies, and one of the main things that we wanted to explain to the kids was that if you crash two spiral galaxies together, you'll likely get an elliptical galaxy. I think there's a nice parallel to what's going on here, where you have these two communities merging together, and the different cultures and traditions and languages and religions. I think in the end that makes this place richer, and we should embrace these differences rather than shy away from them.
If the Earth were 2 millimeters, how big would the other planets be?
One of the activities which is a favorite is the Earth as a peppercorn, where we create a model of the solar system where we say, okay, imagine if the Earth, the whole Earth, were the size of just a peppercorn, of just to about 2 millimeters. What do you think the sizes of the other planets would be, of the other 4, let's say, rocky planets, and then the 4 gas giants, in comparison to this peppercorn, which is the Earth?
These guys are much smaller than the big 4 gas giants.
What is the distance between Mars and Earth?
13 meters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
See how small Mars is? And imagine that Mars is even smaller than Earth. And how far away Mars is from the Sun, which is all the way over there.
This helps give the children an idea of the scales in the solar system, scales of sizes, how big the distances are between the different planets in the solar system, and how much empty space there is where there's nothing.
18, 19, 20.
And then the distance between Saturn and Uranus is 240 meters. So we would have to go another 400 more meters to get to the end of the solar system.
Once you get a perspective of how huge the solar system is, which is just our immediate vicinity, you then of course can understand how huge galaxies are and how huge the universe is. Astronomy can give us this sense of global citizenship because it reveals our place in the universe, and it gives us this cosmovision, how small and vulnerable and meaningless the Earth is in the vast arena of the universe. I think this can indeed help children to develop this ability of multi-perspectivity, of seeing things from different angles and from different perspectives.
If we looked from the perspective of Earth, we see this shape in the sky. But if we left Earth and we went to another planet far away from our sun, we would not see the stars in the same way. They would have a different shape.
Constellations are a group of stars that you see in the sky, and they seem to be grouped together. But these stars can actually be at very different distances from Earth. It depends on where you are in the galaxy, the way the constellation looks. We're going to make a constellation of Columba, which is the constellation of the project. So what we want to do is build these constellations in 3D, hang strings and beads, and so each bead will be representative of a star, and the length of the string will be indicative of the distance of the star from the Earth.
We purposefully mixed the groups up and had Greek-speaking and Turkish-speaking children together. So they couldn't speak to each other to say, could you pass me the scissors, or could you help me with this thing? But they just managed to do it. I mean, we were obviously there to help them, but they just started interacting, and no barrier between them.
I think astronomy, really can help children to develop this ability of multi-perspectivity, of seeing things from different angles and from different perspectives. And if you looked at things from a different lens, you could, maybe understand it better and get a more full picture of the situation of things, which I think is applicable also for Cyprus.
Birbirimizin hakkında bilmediğimiz çok şey var. Onun için her şeye kendi bakış açımızla bakmamamız gerekiyor.
Eşit olmamız lazım yani.
Μάτια, μύτης, είναι σαν εμάς, σαν να έχουμε το ίδιο εμάς, σαν αδέλφια.
Εγώ χωθήκα λίγο κάπως.
Onları gördüğüm zaman kendimi dışlanmış hissettim. Ama birlikte tanıştığımızda daha iyi oldu.
Ναι, στην αρχή δεν μου άρεσε και τόσο πολύ, επειδή δεν καταλάβαινα τη γλώσσα τους, αλλά μετά καταλαβαίνα τι έλεγαν λίγο. Μιλούσαμε αγγλικά.
When you start to look at their point of view, you can understand them. And understanding a person or people will increase your empathy.
İlk gördüğüm zaman onlar hakkında pek iyi şeyler düşünmedim. Şimdi onlar hakkında daha iyi ve insan gibi düşünüyorum.
Γίναμε φίλοι, κάναμε αστεία, κάναμε λίγες χαζομαρές.
Εγώ εύχομαι όλοι να χορεύουν, να διασκεδάζουν και να μην τους λυπεί και να μην βρίζονται, να μην τσακώνονται. Ben açıkçası memnunum. Hiçbir sorunumuz yok bence. Tabii barış dışında.
We should understand that peace is a process, so change is not going to happen from one day to the other. Kids and educators were interested in each other, were interested in learning about each other, and that's the first step of this process. that would eventually pave the way for more interaction and for the deconstruction of these barriers, both in people's minds and hearts.
And if we can really get rid of this ingrained feeling of fear of the other side from a young age, I think that could be the best possible way to promote peace on an island. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceit than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.